Hey y'all, my name is Taquisha. This is Our Freedom Song, and I am so happy that you're here. So y'all, my plant babies have died. Yes, they have died. Over 100, which is so crazy. Just in case you thought I was doing everything perfectly over here, I know that's not what you think. I am going to show you what I am not doing perfectly and how I'm going to fix this next go around, because I don't have time. You don't have time to put in effort planning and planting for things to die. And so I'm going to tell you all about that in this video. A lot of gardening is happening in this video, y'all. Like, I'm so excited. This is a very important time. We are about 4 weeks from our last frost date, which means that things are growing, things need to be kept alive, and I need to do that. I'm the one, it's my responsibility. So we are doing lots of up potting today. I have my little one and she's in the greenhouse with me, and we are up potting tons of peppers. That's not the only thing that needs to be up potted, but it's being up potted. I am getting my green stalks situated on their spinner bases. It's so important. I'll tell you all about that too, like why it's important. And then I am going to be showing you what I am planting today, 4 weeks out. I cannot wait for you guys to see everything that's happening in the greenhouse and all the potential that's going to be happening as we plan out our 2025 spring garden. Like, let's garden today, y'all. Okay, first let me show y'all oh my goodness, my heart. Look at these. So this was 20 in each. That's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 little dead seedlings, y'all. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. And so that was my snapdragons. One good one survived. Poppies, all gone. My amaranth. This is my only hot biscuits that I had. And then my pink baby's breath. That hurts my heart because I was really looking forward to that pink baby's breath. So I'm sad. I'm really sad. Like this hurts. This hurts so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm in the greenhouse and I have a ton of things to do. I have a list. I'm trying to be efficient, you know what I'm saying? And so I have a list of things that I need to do. I'm hoping to build a couple garden beds today. We'll see if that happens, but that is my hope. I am going to be putting up a trellis for our hopefully butterfly peas. Or is it butterfly peas? Yes, our butterfly peas. I'm so excited about those. I actually soaked them, right? I scarified them and soaked them. And I think that's what I didn't do with my passion flower. I only got one passion flower to germinate. But what I read is that you're supposed to scarify them, like take off a little bit of that outer coating, because there's such thick seeds. They have this thick coating on them. So you break that essentially, and I just use a fingernail filer, file that down a little bit, and then put it in water so that the water can absorb in the inside of the seed. Oh my goodness. So I did not do that with the passion flower. I did not soak it after I scarified it. And so I think that's where my error was. Definitely you can learn from my mistakes. We're gonna see if it helps this time. I also dug up all of my moringa, y'all. It has been growing for a month. I've had it planted. I'm like, oh, it's a big seed, maybe it just takes a while. No, I did not scarify that seed, and so I dug it up and I scarified it, and I took a fingernail clipper, like a nail clipper, and clipped off some of the seed. And then I soaked it, and I soaked it for 48 hours. I soaked it, and then I planted it. And so I'm hoping for the best with that. I hope it's not too far gone, and I hope it's not too late to plant it, because like I said, that was 4 weeks ago. That's a long time when you're talking about seed starting, and so and waiting on something and starting over. But I either needed to start over, or I just had to chop it up that it wasn't going to grow. So it's better to just try to use the seeds anyway. And so that's what I did. I also planted some corn. I planted some corn. This would be my second attempt, but my first attempt at planting it from seed. I cannot put the corn out there into the ground because the squirrels absolutely love that dried corn. It's been made, what's the thing called where you throw the sacks? Cornhole. He made some cornholes, and then he sewed his cornhole sacks and put that deer corn in it. The squirrels tore the bags open to eat the dry corn. So I'm like, y'all are gonna tear the garden up trying to get that corn. So I'm just going to grow it, just pre-sprout it, and get my little corn starts and see if that works. And I'm going to be planting those really close in the garden bed, 4 to 6 inches apart. That's going to be wild. So I'm going to plant at least 72 corn stalks inside of a 3x6 bed. I'm so excited about that corn because we have these tall beds, and so I know they're just going to be glorious when they're growing. And I got a feeling it's going to go really, really well this year. T-E-R. It's a T-T. And how many do we need of those?
We need 3. So it's gonna go to
perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. Okay. Nice. And then we'll put a little soil in there. Okay, so while she's in there taking care of that, don't you just love things that they can just like take care of and handle for you? I think that's wonderful. She totally got it. While she's taking care of that, I am going to be putting my bases on my green stalks, but I want to tell you what I think I did wrong and how I plan to pivot next year. I wish I could blame it on this crazy weather. I wish I could blame it on this absolutely insane crazy weather. Like, we have days that get up to 70, and then recently the nights, like the last few nights, have gotten way below freezing. So I say way below, but like 26, 27 degrees. And so that is really, really difficult for me to navigate the greenhouse. Honestly, it's just one of those things. And what else is the issue is that I have multiple things growing. So I have cool weather flowers in there growing, but I also have warm weather things that I'm trying to grow in advance so that I have a great year of succession planting. So that has made it really, really difficult to kind of navigate that. It's a new thing for me to navigate and to kind of figure out. And so I've been having to play with that a lot. But I think the number one reason that these things died is because of those mini soil blocks, y'all. Like, this is my first year using those, and I will not use them again. They are too needy. Like, they dry up so quick, and I actually increased the amount of vermiculite that I put inside those small ones because they constantly need water. The mini soil blocks that I'm using are actually a 1/2 inch. So it's a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And I'm telling you, if gardening is not your full-time job and you don't have unlimited hours to keep those bad boys watered, oh, it is challenging. And I would say that I'm a person who's very intentional about keeping up with my seedlings. It's not like I'm just over here just like being neglectful, but the needs of those little mini soil blocks are a bit much for me. You have to water them, and I'm not talking about just spray water them. You have to flood the container that has these little seedlings in it, well, me, two times a day, and spray the top to germinate the seed. And so that's a bit much. It's a bit much. And so I love my 2-inch soil blocks. The thing is, with the 1/2 inch, you can plant like 300 seedlings inside of one little container. Like, that's a lot. It's a lot of seedlings to start in a small space. And so I get it. And then with a 2-inch, I think it's, I'm trying to think how many I can fit in one. I can fit 5, and they each have 8. So I can fit 40. That's a big difference from 300 to 40. That's a huge difference. So I totally get the benefit of starting, especially if you have a large garden or a small starting space, using the mini soil blocks. So I think what I'm gonna do is just try to figure out if I can find an in-between, like a 1-inch soil blocker. I think that maybe that will be a good solution to the problem. I would get a little bit more space. I would get a little bit more growing space in a smaller container than I would if I did my 2-inch blocks, but I would not have to worry about watering 14 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So that is just something that I'm navigating and learning a lesson about this year that I did not navigate last year because I didn't use the small soils, the soil blocks. I only used the 2-inch. So it's CAYENNE, and it says orange, like cayenne. People pronounce it differently, but I would highly not recommend. Oh my goodness. I would highly not recommend filling your green stalks and then moving them because they're so heavy. They're so heavy when they're all filled up with soil. But here I am. Do you see the leveler in there? It's yellow. So I just use a leveler to make sure it's level so that when I put them all up there, I'm not having to move them again. And one of the things I've learned is don't forget to do the other side. Like, I've done that. All of the posts and things that we've built, man, it will have a lean-to it. Talk about gangsta leaning. So much better. That's pretty close. You can see this way is not. It's not. It actually needs to lift up. Like the back end of this needs to be built up. Oh, that's like a ½ inch or something. This is a scrap wood pile, and I definitely need a shimmy. Ooh, this one looks almost perfect. Let's try this one. What happened, even though I had it level down there at the bottom, when I put all of the weight back on there, obviously some of the soil was more sunken in than other parts, like softer, so it just is leaning in. So I'm gonna have to put this under this section over here to give it a firmer foundation. I'm just about to call for backup because I need them hands. Because you see how, and I already took these off, put that under, and I just don't want to waste time doing that again. So if you hold it up, I could stick the stick on the back part.
The thing is, this way is fine. So if I make that thick, it's going to make that go even.
I was thinking the back.
Oh yeah, I see.
Because this is what I'm trying to get it to not lean. And so that needs to go up. It's the back side. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up. Okay, so that's straight. And we got it. We got it. It took more than one shimmy. I'll just cover that up. Just cover that up with some soil. And there we go. Yes. You're doing really good. Good job.
Thank you.
We're going to the front of the garden. Yep, right in this area. So right here is good. You can lay down here. Yep. I definitely wanted to leave this in as I was watching it back because y'all, dealing with these cattle panels can be a tricky thing, like, you know, and it's not just snap your finger and it's done. It's a lot of like fidgeting around with it, trying to get the right height, trying to get the right look. And so I love them, but I thought that this was very relatable. I would definitely say it is a two-person job. I could probably get it done with just me. It would take so much longer, and you really have to be careful because these things will spring back so fast. And so I've almost got my head chopped off a couple times by a cattle panel. I'm just saying. I could just see it now. It's going to be so beautiful when all of these trellises are teeming with all of that life this spring. You guys know that I have been telling you about this little thermal printer that I got from Amazon for like $20, and I've been using it and I love it. I think it's so convenient and handy. I can print off more than one tag at once, which is incredible because I need to do that instead of handwriting all of these tags. So I really love that. I will leave that link down below for you guys. It's just something that I bought off Amazon, and I feel like this is a definite must have for me because I use it. Also planting some sweet potatoes today. I have these from in the house, and as you can see, they're already trying to create these slips. And so what I have here is I have just a Tupperware that I am going to stick this in so that they can continue to sprout and produce some slips. So these are ready for me to pull off and put into some water to root. And so I am going to do that as well, but pull off what needs to be pulled off and let it do its thing, continue to grow. It is definitely time to up pot all of these tomato babies. If you have not up potted tomatoes before, I do quickly want to show you how simple it is. Tomatoes are so excited to live, and they don't have sensitive roots, and actually the roots go all the way up the stem. And so when you replant these, you're going to plant them all the way up. Anyway, that's what I do. And so that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm just going to stick this all the way down as far as it will go, and then put some soil around there. Probably going to take off those couple leaves right there, and then put the soil all the way to the top. That is going to create a really strong tomato. And that's it. It's super simple. That's why I love growing tomatoes, and I do think that tomatoes are a really great first beginner plant to do. I've heard some people who have lots of people following them say that not to start with tomatoes. Listen, grow those tomatoes, y'all. My goodness, don't you just love when you accomplish things that you set out to accomplish? I feel so good about all the things today. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the garden. I look forward to gardening with you this upcoming season. Until next time.